All right, you guys. Happy Monday already.
Yes, the end of Monday already.
The end of Monday.
Can you believe it's the 7th of July already?
July. I thought it
That's
was
the July?
April, May, June.
My God.
July. It'll be November.
Right.
And then December.
We'll be celebrating Thanksgiving before you know it.
Yes, we will.
Hello, everybody. This is not our music, but we sure enjoy it.
We do. Yeah. So what's been going on, everybody? Let me get my little comments going over
Hope
here.
everybody had a great 4th of July.
Mm-hmm.
Great celebration.
What you do?
Oh, we had the Fuller clan together, the whole clan.
We did.
And we had a ball. It was a lot of fun, a lot of eating, a lot of laughing, some singing and some praying as well. Yeah. We ended right. Yeah. We might have did right during the course of the evening, but we end right. Yeah. Probably ate too much, but one too. So at my younger sister's house, Lelia, aka Fan, and Michael, and they were great hosts.
So we got some guests I haven't seen before. Maybe I have seen Carlette, Candy, Leonard, still. Carlette, you sure got a lot of names.
Yeah.
Great evening to you too.
Probably from Louisiana.
Refreshing Point.
Yeah, Dr. Layton. Dr. Rick, welcome.
Oh,
got your spiritual parents on here.
Yes.
We're gonna talk about life.
Yes, we are. So happy Monday, everybody. Thank you for joining. This is Godfidence, where we meet up every Monday at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 5 p.m. Central Standard Time. And so we've got some great guests on tonight. Thank you so much, Ms. Steels, for tagging all your church members and your friends.
And this is Godfidence.
This is Godfidence, where we talk about things.
Kenneth, and what's your name now? What's your name again? What's your name
BQF.
What's your name is?
BQF, Darlene Quincy Ford.
Right. And so you hear me refer to her as Q. That's what I call her. And but her name is Darlene.
Yeah. And so you guys, we got a great show for you tonight. Hopefully you've been following us for some time. If you haven't, then you've been missing out. But I will say that has it been a couple of years since we had our guest on?
No, it's been a year or more than a year. Right.
And so we had our guest on that Doc Rick and Barbara Layton.
And we had 3 episodes with Doc then.
Was it 3?
I think it's 3 episodes. I do believe it was 3.
Well, I need to go back and we can do some replays. But look, you guys, y'all are in for a treat tonight. Y'all come on in, tag your friends, and let them know the Laytons are back on with us. And so, well, you got anything you want to share before we get started?
No, I just want there's some great people. There's some of my best friends. I love them dearly. I spent a lot of time in the early years of ministry. I spent a lot of time with at Doc and Barbara's house.
Really?
I was out there every month or every 5 weeks. Mm-hmm. But I'll tell you a story about Doc and I.
Uh-oh.
So we had the burden of ministry, and the things that were bothering us, mostly the members, and I would say Cushites or Negroes or whatever, or something like that. And Doc and I was so full and trying to get out all our chest. We walked looked like we walked 10 miles one way, and we forgot we got to go back, and we didn't have no money because all our money stuff was in the car. We couldn't. They didn't have no Uber then. They had no Uber. We couldn't catch no cab, so we had to walk back. It was hot that day. Really? It was hot. Oh yeah, we struggled back.
like it's hot here.
Right.
That's
right.
Hence the images behind their back. This is what this episode 41 is called. Their back. And we got a heart with some fire behind it because I know they're gonna bring it.
Right.
And then it's hot outside, and then I got firecrackers because people were lighting up the sky with fireworks this past weekend. Yes. And so I'm not gonna belabor and stall anymore because we got a couple of today and maybe next week. Hopefully if they'll stay with us. So we're gonna bring them on to the stage.
Hello.
Hey, there y'all are back.
Thank you guys so much for having us. As Bishop said that in the early days, I believe Pastor Dr. Dollar and I met in the 80s. And shortly after that, Bishop, you and I came in contact with one another.
Yes.
And you're right. We spent a lot of time together, sir.
Yeah.
I think you were out here every 5 to 6 weeks.
Yeah,
You
that's
were
right. That's
you
right.
were in Shreveport, and then when
Right.
you were not here, I was there
Right.
in Griffin,
Right.
and so we spent a lot of time together in the early days,
We
knowing
did.
and just it wasn't just ministering to one another.
Sharing.
It was getting to know one another,
Right.
spending time with one another, and just relieving ourselves of the burden, as you said, of Negroes.
Yeah, we do have some other persuasions on, so we thank you.
We're wrong. Hey, they can catch on it. My dad says white Negroes and black Negroes. So
yes,
that name don't fit a color. It's the spirit.
Yeah.
Mindset too. So hey, everybody that's joining in. So we've got our guests on tonight. And we are so glad to have you guys back.
Well, thank you.
Yeah,
All right.
you know, the first thing I thought about, babe, when I was putting this show together, and by the way, I am the producer of this show now, not really. I was putting it together, and I remember,
You are.
I remember Dr. Barbara said, he was buying my clothes for me. I ain't like that. And he was buying my clothes. I wanted him to stop that. And he was buying my clothes. That's the one thing. I mean, I remember a lot of stuff, but I just laughed at you, Dr. Barbara, because you were serious about that.
I did that for how many years? Up until how many years ago?
I don't want to talk about that.
Hey, you make you get mad all over again.
I'm going to share something with you guys. That's one of the reasons why we've been together in November. What is it? 48, 49
Oh,
years.
Praise God.
48 years of marriage, simply because I've learned and she's learned. We've just learned to flow with one another.
Right.
It doesn't make sense to get mad, upset, and then have to mend it all, because we made up our mind we're going to be together.
Yes.
Right.
We're
going
to be together.
Yeah.
This is the best thing that has ever happened to me, besides Jesus Christ, my Lord and Savior.
Right.
And there's no need in me being upset, because I got to be with this girl.
Yeah.
Right.
Yes.
And I just found out that I could, as his wife, I could live through a lot of ugly dresses.
She's right. We're not going to discuss that today, because if we did, my comment would be, didn't you get the most compliments when I brought them home?
Yes, you did. I got a lot of compliments from people with bad taste.
Okay, what are we going to discuss?
Oh my God!
Who's gonna beat up our table in the office?
I wasn't ready for that one.
Oh Lord! And this didn't end.
No, and full of shops for me too, Dr. Barbara. But he'll say the same thing. You get a lot of compliments.
But I buy you right though.
Yeah. But
she tell me, don't buy me nothing for my birthday. Don't buy me nothing. Buy no clothes. No clothes. But I'm a retail guy.
Yeah.
You know, I'm drawn to clothes. You know, and so but look, she can talk all she wants to, but I buy something. She said, "Oh, you have to buy me that," and she have it on the next day. So I don't make her buy it. I said, take it back then. No, she wears it.
Look, Dr. Barbara, like, I'm aware, but
Hey, Bishop, those were the same comments that I received until she started buying her own.
Right.
So I don't know, Bishop.
You don't know.
That is so good.
Well, Barbara said, if you like them that much, why don't you wear them yourself?
Right.
That's what she wanted to say. So what have you guys been up to since we saw you last?
Barbara.
We've been up to living life.
Yeah.
Living life well, enjoying life.
Yeah.
Enjoying the kids, the grandkids, but not letting them slow us down and hinder us. We've been on the move.
Okay. Good.
Yeah.
So y'all not stay-at-home grandparents, babysitters?
Oh
No way.
No
way. We have 12, 13 grandchildren. and 3 or 4 great grandchildren. And so no, we're not into that. I'm gonna say this, and I say this with all of the integrity and all of the kindness that I can say it with. My grandmother basically raised me, and I saw my grandmother not only raise me half the time, but my grandmother had 10, 12 children, and she raised all of her children's children.
Wow.
And
Wow.
she left this world at a tender age of 66.
Yeah.
Wow.
We've got to learn as parents to love our children, to raise our children, I believe, to where they take responsibility, and when they get of age, they raise their own children. These are the years, Bishop and Sister Darlene, these are the years, Barbara, that I believe that we're supposed to enjoy life to the
Yeah.
fullest. And we can enjoy life with 2 or 3 grandchildren tagging along, watch this, all the time.
All
Right.
the time.
Right.
There's times to where we plan the grandchildren trips. We plan the children's trip. So come go with us on these trips, because there's not going to be any other trips.
That's it. Doc, you sound like you're serious too.
Oh, Bishop, I'm serious, sir.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, I mean that.
You means it definitely.
I mean that. I mean,
Doc, we did a episode a few weeks ago, and we did one episode, and we said we wanted to come back and do it, and that they not like us. You know, we took responsibility when I finished my first car. My dad had sold it to me, one of his old cars, and taught us responsibility. And they never, my dad didn't have to pay no car note, he didn't have to pay no insurance.
Wait a minute, Bishop, did you say he sold, SOW, sold it?
Yes.
Or
not SOW.
SOLD.
Right.
SOLD.
SOLD.
He sold it to you.
So, yeah. And that was my first car. And I've been buying my own ever since. He didn't pay no insurance, no car note, nothing. Today we got to buy the house, pay the insurance, the car, but pay the insurance. If they get a speeding ticket, they want you to pay it, everything. So they're not like us. We worked because we wanted our own money. May
I ask the question?
Yes, sir.
Ma'am, why aren't they like us?
Because we gave them things without giving them responsibility. Yeah. So we are the corporate. The reason they are, because we didn't want them to be raised like we were raised, lack, poor, secondhand clothes, struggling from one bill to the other. No.
So was that a mistake?
Big mistake. We shouldn't. Not that we shouldn't have gave them things, but we rewarded them for being average. We rewarded them for doing nothing. We just gave it to them, and we gave them so much. And I tell Darlene, so she'd be mad and getting on Austin and Paige. But I said, baby, they don't have no base to judge that by. This is the only life they know. This is the only life they ever lived. See, we struggling made us responsible. So, because we know if they didn't see, I got married on a Friday, and I moved to Washington, D.C. on a Sunday.
At what age?
I was 19. That's after my first year of college. I was 19. And I moved away, so I don't have no parents to walk over to their house and call them or something. I had to get it on my own.
Yeah, same with us.
As a matter of fact, I was sending my daddy suits that the tailor and Griffin said, I ain't never seen no suits like this.
Wow.
So we bought from we bought for our parents, like you said you did for your parents.
Yeah, when I was telling Fuller that when I was growing up in college, first of all, let me just talk about my generation of children, which are now 19 and 20, which are considered adults,
right,
but we still call them kids, right?
Because they
act like kids, right? And so, but I remember when I was in school that we went to school, we paid for school, and we worked. Yeah. So I can remember the times that I was I went to, and first of all, like even now, I noticed that a lot of kids, and this is great that their parents can send them to great 4-year schools, pay out of state fees. It is great.
Right.
I went to junior college
Mhm.
because that's the money that I could afford. I got a scholarship, junior college, and band and choir. So I had to look for scholarships, right? And then when I finished junior college, I was trying to figure out what next. So I knew my mom couldn't afford to pay for college. So I went and found me a job, and I started working full time at Lockheed in Fort Worth, Texas.
Mhm.
But I also had to go to school. Now you ask a child to work full time or part time and go to school. So Paige said to me the other day, she's like, "Mom, but I'm going to take some summer classes, and so I can't work." I said, "Babe, you're gonna have to learn how to add balance." And so let me just say this: if you're going to drive that nice free Mini Cooper that you're driving, I'm going to give you 2 weeks to find yourself a job. Oh, mom. I'm just saying, if you want to drive that car, we didn't tell you to have to put gas in it because you're in college. So we get that. You have got to get a job. Same thing for Austin. Now, Austin found a job that he's working 1 day a week, but I can tell you every single day I'm on Austin.
Right.
Because what they don't want to do, they want to start at the top. They want to start right where we are. So you guys, we're talking about they're not like us.
They're not like us.
Thank you, everybody, for joining in. And so they want you to, they don't want to look for the job. They want to. They don't know nothing about cutting the grass. They don't know anything about cleaning the house. Because really, Austin could just say,
right.
Mama, I'll clean up the house or I'll cut the grass. And, they don't go to the grocery stores anymore, or the Taco Bell or the Chick-fil-A or, work outside. None of that. They looking for Austin's degree is going to be in film and graphics design. He's looking for a remote job. Boy, if you don't get out of here with that virtual stuff and get yourself on out here and go work at some place.
But Sister Fuller, it goes back to what Bishop just said. We made them like this.
Mm-hmm.
My children knew nothing about that much about cleaning either. We had girls that come in and clean our home.
Right.
Even though we had 7 children, people used to tell us, "We feel sorry for you guys." Don't feel sorry for me. God got me balling, so don't feel sorry for me.
Right.
Our children grew up in a 13, 14 bedroom home with 3 kitchens,
Right.
3 living rooms, 3 dining rooms, cars to park. All your cars, Bishop, and all mine. Bishop, you stayed there.
I went out. Right.
And so they
look
felt
for another child.
No.
Oh, okay.
We had to actually move out of that house in order for our children to stop coming back. We woke up, and you guys, I don't know if we told this on the last show or not, but we woke up one day and I said, "Barbara, what is that dog doing in the backyard?" And she said, "What dog?" And we found out that one of our sons had been living with us on the other side of the mansion for how long?
About 3 months.
About 3 months. Lived with us for 3 months, him and his wife and dog, and we didn't know it.
Wow. Well, your place is that large, though.
And so, no, we got rid of that, Bishop. We will never go back to that.
Really?
That was a stage of life that we no longer need.
Right.
Look, and Dr. Layton, look, we bought a new house.
We just built a new house.
The bedrooms, you can walk in and go and step 4 paces forward, 4 paces to the side, 4 paces to the other side, and that's the only length of the room.
That size of their bedroom.
So you can't stay.
So don't get comfortable. Don't get comfortable.
You guys had something in mind, but we spoiled our children like that, and I look back now and I think about it, just like we have a tradition for the past 30 years. 4th of July just passed, and for the past 30 years or more, we have purchased all of the fireworks, the firecrackers, and we've had $1,000, $1,200, $1,500 firework night.
Right.
For the past 30 years. So this year they asked me, "Daddy, are we going to do fireworks?" So
Sure.
I sponsored it,
Right.
the whole bit, and they expect those kind of things.
Right.
At 30 something.
At our baby out of 7 children, our baby child is 31 years old.
Wow.
And what's the oldest?
We've got like my one son, he brings his son. They bring their kids. My one daughter, she had her son, he was not even old enough to do fireworks.
When we first started.
Now he's old enough. He's 18, 19 years old. He's doing them. And my other son.
Well, her other son that's 25 now. Yeah. He was like 5 years old.
So we got generation after generation expecting and coming to this fireworks demonstration that we pay for.
But I don't know they like mine or not, but they'll bring a friend or some friends with them to enjoy what you are paying for.
Some friends, the whole neighborhood. Yes, Sister Darlene, I heard that our oldest, I think she's 48.
Yeah.
She's 48.
Uh-huh.
And so, I'm only 58, so we were
right. We got it.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, our oldest is 48.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
So do you have any that still live with you?
Oh
no!
Look, I haven't cursed in years.
I know, right. I felt that. I had a spirit. I felt that. That just earlier.
Don't get me started.
You had an auction, Doc. You had an auction.
What?
Yes, we do.
What?
Oh,
yes. Barbara just reminded me. We have a home. Our home is nice size, so we have one that has her own home. Hope she's not watching this tonight. We love you, baby. Mm-hmm. But she hasn't lived in her own home in about a year and a half.
Yeah.
Where's she been living?
In our house.
We love you, baby. We're not going to call your name. We love having you there. But this is questions that was asked by the bishop and Sister Bishop.
Right. No, they're not like us.
Because I'm gonna need to put on the collar.
No, she has her own home, beautiful home. She's been having it remodeled and the whole bit, but she's lived with us about a year and a half.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So I got another question then. Doctors,
don't hurt us, please.
Because we're talking about this because we know that other people on here are listening and they're having the same. It's a challenge. We talk about it all the time.
Right.
We're calling this segment "They're Not Like Us," everyone. And so, is there anybody that you still help along the way financially, cars or paying? Because we do. We have like I just paid Paige. She's just 19. She got a speeding ticket, and so I paid the speeding ticket, but I was very clear. You're paying me back. And she's like, Mom. I said, no, because we told you the responsibility it takes to drive a car. We told you in our city that they give out tickets pretty regularly. So she's responsible for paying that back. Now, Fuller's also got, sons that he has to help along the way.
Right.
Giving them both Mercedes.
Chico and Matt.
Stuff, cash at me $25 for some extra. All of that.
Oh, yeah.
How's it working on y'all's side?
Our children would tell you that they would say it like this: we never ask y'all for anything. Y'all just give it to us. So interpret those tongues.
Negro, please.
Look, you didn't ask for it. Okay.
No, let me say, I must say that most of my children now have come to being very independent.
Mm-hmm.
Over the past 5-6 years, being very independent. Very seldom ever ask us for anything. If we find out about something, we will aid them and help them. But in years past, yes, we helped them with everything. Yeah. We paid car insurances. We paid a lot of everything.
Yeah, surgery for dogs.
One of he sent his dog to. The dog had swallowed a sock, and what was the operation?
I don't.
2,700.
Yeah, and one.
Wait a minute, we just paid for a grandson. A grandson's dog. It's like
dog. Y'all some good ones. Y'all some good ones. Y'all paying for dog care, man. Y'all some real good ones. I think I draw the line there.
Bishop. But they will tell you, we don't ask you for anything. Y'all just did that. We didn't ask you. And if they're watching this program, they would say, "Oh, they made us look bad."
Right. Right. Yeah, right. Dr.
But
Barbara, what you got to say about all that goes on with they not like us?
Well, they're not like us because for one reason, they don't understand the value of money. They're not even understanding the value of their own lives, the responsibility it takes to be just on this planet,
Yeah.
to live, to
Right.
eat, to have
and,
social obligations. They don't understand any of that.
and at the same time, I guess I have to say, as we're having this particular episode on today, I have to say, all my children, but especially my girls, when it comes to them, I have never wanted them to want for anything.
Right. Understand.
And I guess Barbara tell me, say those girls got you wrapped around their fingers. Uh, I mean, all I got to do is think they want
Yeah.
something, and Daddy gonna do it. They call me the Godfather.
Yeah.
With their
I'm like,
beautiful green eyes, looking like
yeah, yeah.
Dr. Barbara.
I'm like Mikey, what's his name? Corleone from The
Right.
Godfather.
Yeah.
They actually call me Godfather.
Corleone.
And yeah, and so it's just something that I does. I grew up on the rough side of the mountain, if we could bring that up,
Right.
to where my parents didn't have it to give me. They didn't, and it
Right.
was kind of like I softened up, and I had to learn in the latter years I had to make those children have responsibility.
Yeah.
I had to teach them to know everything's not going to come to you like this, but I also wanted my daughters to know that you never have to run up behind a man or depend on a man or let any man mistreat you because daddy and mama got you.
Always.
Yeah.
Right.
And we let our kids know that they know
Right.
that they got. But what I was telling Austin the other week, I said, son, you're 20 now. And I know they feel like and think that we sound old, and I now sound like my mom. But
Yeah.
when I was your age, I was already able to move to Atlanta, take care. I bought a house, my first house at 27.
Wow.
All of those things. Look, they're
On
not
your
like
own.
on my own. And so I was telling him, I said, Austin, if something were to happen, not saying something's going to happen to me or something happened to Pops, what would you do to be able to survive? Are you able to have a job, pay your utility, pay your car, pay your insurance? You have no idea. Are you able to survive and maintain life? I said, that's all the thing we want. We're not asking you to pay for college.
Yeah.
We just want you to have better. Denise Armstrong makes a comment. She says, in other words, they have to have skin in the game.
Right.
I have to say our children, they have your back sometimes, and then, but they find themselves always, surrounded by their parents.
Right.
I guess there's an age gap with Sister Darlene, your children,
Right.
our children, and even Bishop, your oldest
Oldest
children together. My children are coming into the knowledge to where they are understanding that, okay, we're on our own. We got to take care of ourselves. We got to do this and do that. So we don't get as much of them as coming to us or whatever. If I find out one of them buying a new car, Bishop, and they ask me, we're giving them the down payment or part of it or whatever on the car, and if they ask or just I think they need it, we paying the car notes. We've been blessed like this. So
Right.
but at the same time we teach them to put away money, to have money. I think all of my first four children, our first four children purchased five children purchased homes, and we only have seven. Our first five children purchased their own homes in their early 20s.
Yeah.
What?
Even
our grandson, the one we talking about, he purchased his own home and talking about buying another home right now. He just called Dr. Barb today and asked for advice and so forth. So this helping them and providing has also came with knowledge, wisdom, and counseling that we pray that they receive.
Right.
I have a saying that we're not responsible for the pain in the lives of our children or anyone else that does not take our sound counsel and advice.
I was just thinking one of the I was just talking to one of my girls the other day, and she was um, having this financial situation, and she was telling me about it, and I was giving her advice. But also, she said, "Well, Mama, I don't want to have to go into my savings." So that let me know she has savings.
Right.
She
She's
had,
doing
and
something.
they're very good. I must say, they're very good with money. They have money for this. They have money for that, but they don't use a lot of money just to blow it. They're
Right.
very responsible in paying their bills. And she says, Mom, I will never be late on any. She's never
So
late.
they've watched our
Yeah.
lives. So
It's
They are.
good.
She's never late on any bills, any obligation she has to pay. She's never late.
Yeah. You
They
know what?
they have learned that.
Yeah.
That part of integrity as far as paying your bills, being responsible for whatever bills or whatever thing you get yourself in, they're responsible enough to get themselves out of it. Even like Dr. Layton was saying, if he thinks they're having a situation, he'll go in and help them, but they're not gonna tell him. They
Right.
try
Right.
to
Right.
do it
well,
on
they've
their
come
own.
to this
Yeah,
part in their life. They're
yeah,
not going to tell me now.
yeah.
They want to be responsible. That was not the early days. So,
Right.
Sister Darlene,
There's hope.
the
It's like,
skies are going to open wide
Right.
open one
oh
day,
Lord.
because we know that you and Bishop, you train up
Yeah.
your children in the way that they should go.
Yeah. 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 And so,
Well, they're coming to their own,
Yeah,
but they still have to have skin in the game, like you said.
yeah,
They have
yeah,
to
yeah.
learn how to have skin in the game,
Yeah.
because because they'll learn to respect it. Because anything you don't honor and respect, you will eventually abuse it.
Yeah.
And so you have to,
Yeah.
you really have to. My baby sister posted online. So our dad was like that too. He took care of his 4 girls. That's what my baby
Oh,
sister.
that's what she said.
Yeah.
Right. She
Yeah, I
just
see that
wrote
our
that.
dad took care of his
She
4
said they
girls the
took care of 4
same
girls the
way.
same way. He looked at out for him, and they took care of him, because me and my older brother, we had challenges that they didn't have. We had we went through things that they didn't have to go through.
They didn't have
And,
to go
and
through.
I don't want our kids to be
Yeah.
grow up that way, but I do want them to learn to have responsibility. And like Darlene said, if anything happened to us, and we're not saying whether they will have an inheritance, we know that.
Yeah.
But if they didn't have this inheritance, you just can't live on that and hope that. But if they didn't have it, can you still live? Can you
Right.
still maintain a lifestyle?
Yeah. Something minor that I wish and I pray for all parents that have adult children is that, and I know it happens, and it's something minor, that when we go out to dinner and we go as a family, all of us go, that somebody pick up the bill. Besides,
What's that family for, Doc? What's that
We
family
ain't
for?
seen that yet.
We have never seen it
Right.
done. Not one time.
what is
Not,
that?
not one time. Not even on Father's Day.
Our Mother's Day, they drop back into that little kid mode,
Right.
and their pockets are tight.
Pockets are tight with a
Never.
savings account.
Right.
Not one time.
Well, my oldest is 52, I think. And I can't remember a check picked up. And when I took my mom and dad out, when I take them out, I drive with them. I took them to the malls. I took them to hospital visit. I took them to their friend's house. I just took them
Bishop.
out.
Everything.
And
Bishop,
they
we're
did
the
not
same
pay for
way.
nothing. They did not pay for a dime. I would not let them, not the gas, anything.
We're the same way. We take my mom out. We would, when her mom was living, we would take her mom out. Hey, I'm gonna go this far. We bought both of them mink coats, her mom
Right.
and my mom. We
Right.
took her mom to the car lot at 80 years old or so, and told her to pick out whatever car you wanted. Went in the booth and wrote a check for it.
Right.
Okay, come on, I'm looking for that day.
Right. When?
And vacations too.
And vacations also,
Right.
but never, no, not one time. Y'all hear that, my children?
Right.
Not one time
Right.
have they ever picked up the check.
Just a check.
Just
Yeah,
Yes.
it's and we have spoiled them in certain areas. I know because we take them on vacation and give them a allowance
While they're on vacation.
here.
What did you say, Dr. Barbara?
An allowance. You have this much money to spend today, and then you can come back tomorrow and hey, you have this much money to spend tomorrow.
And we have 7 children and grandchildren, and we take them on vacation, and we cover everything.
Wow.
My God.
Yep.
The rooms, everything.
Everything. Doc, y'all some good ones.
Y'all some good.
I picked that up years ago, and maybe it was the wrong thing to pick up. I picked that up from a mentor.
Okay, gotcha.
We can't listen to every. Now I ain't talking about my pastor.
Right.
I'm coming from another. We picked that up and we kept it up, and I think my mentor, that mentor, lived to hate that day also.
Yeah.
We got people volunteering to be your daughters and kids.
You all need another daughter. All right, vacation allowance. Wow.
They moving to Louisiana.
And they expect that.
Yeah.
Wait a minute. I'm trying to remember. Do we get the renter cars also, or they get the renter cars?
Okay, Doc. Doc Layton. Y'all come, Doc Layton.
Right.
No, I'm serious. I think the last time the children asked, well, what day were we going to fly out and land, so they didn't have to get a renter car.
Baby, look, remember this?
Hey, Bishop, and told us make sure we got one large enough for them all.
Okay.
See, now that's when you want to cuss.
Doc, we're gonna have to come back. We have to come back out.
When we landed at the airport, they were at the gate waiting for us.
Oh, how nice is that? And that
They had got there at least an hour before we did.
That was very nice of them.
We're not saying this like we were upset or mad at it, but this is the way we've spoiled them.
Yeah.
Right. That's what we're talking about. That is.
Yeah.
We're talking about they not like us.
Well, we need to come back and do another segment about what's the answer.
What's the answer?
What's the answer?
The answer is that we need to teach them to be responsible. And a lot of times, if they can't afford a trip, we need to leave them at home.
Yeah.
I think we're going to end on that segment.
We're going to have to end on that.
We're going to pick up again, Doc.
So you guys, look, what y'all do is, go ahead, Doc Layton. We're going to let you close us out with that.
Yeah, especially when they get of age,
right?
Especially when they get a certain age that, okay, you've turned this age and you have a job. Now, if we're all going to go on vacation, you guys need to pay for your own rooms. You need to do this. I remember one year, a couple of years, we rented 3, what they call Airbnbs, and to where all of them could stay in, and we paid for it all. We paid for the food. We paid for everything.
Right.
Ain't nobody volunteered to raise their hand and say, "Daddy, we got it."
No, and like now it's even hard to get them together. That we might be busy on that day. And I'm trying to take you to pay for.
Look here, Doc Layton. You can take us.
Right.
Hey, you can grown adult.
No. We can't take y'all. Not the way y'all be swinging. We saw the room y'all had on the ship. Okay. No. We do not want to adopt the fullest.
That's why we don't take nobody with us.
Right.
We start taking them on trips.
So we can have a room that large.
I'm gonna tell y'all this. Paige and Austin was mad at me one year. They used to be able to go on my trips for Legal Shield. I'd have every annual trip, and so it's for one person, the associate and their guest, right? Paige and Austin used to go. When they turned 18, I was like, y'all working in the summertime.
Right.
That's cut out. Paige was hot.
You're going to have jobs, right?
She was hot. She was like, we don't get to go. Nope.
Pay your own way.
Pay your own way if you want to go.
So you have to pay your own way. If you're going, you're paying your own way.
Yeah.
No, you're going to be working.
You're right. As you guys say, you're ending this. They are not like us.
Right.
We need to teach them how we came up.
Yeah.
And not just teach them. Some things are not just taught, but they're caught.
Right.
Stick to our word when we tell them these things, and allow them to suffer.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Because we're gonna live our best life. This is the end of a time when we get to enjoy life to the fullest. And so, but you guys, look, we are so glad. You got a lot of people laughing at us on here tonight. All these happy faces. But we get to end with some temptations. You know how we do it, y'all.
And Doc from Michigan, so they know about that.
Oh, God, that Motown demon been following me ever since I've been born again.
Right.
And every now and then he tries to use me.
Let him use you. Let him use you.
Let's use it.
So will you all come back next week for part 2?
We'll come back.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. But
Okay.
you know, we'll see you guys this week in the Grace Conference.
Yes.
Right. In a couple days.
Yes.
Yes.
We'll see y'all.
So y'all gotta
Thank
dance
you.
it out. Here we go.
All right.
Hey, bring me a shirt just like the one you got on.
What size you wear? What size you wear?
Extra large.
You got it.
Okay.
All right, everybody. We'll see you later. Mwah. Thank y'all for
Thank you.
joining us.
Everybody.
All right.
Love y'all.
Love
Love
you.
you.